gosh, there's a bug bouncing around. Hey, how are you? So today we are carrying on with our fun little series of everyday looks that are just transformed and elevated so that we are getting outside of our comfort zone, try new things. And so I wanted to just stick to some basic brown eyeshadows, but just maybe try it in a new way. So if you're interested in seeing how I achieved this look, definitely stay tuned, especially because most of it was drugstore. I don't know, I should just like count out how many things were, but I feel like every time I pick something up, it's like, wow, this is drugstore, like so many things. So you'll be very pleased that this is very budget friendly as well. So if you're interested, keep watching. All right, let's get this party started. As per usual, I'm going to let you know what I prepped my face with. I'm using the Belif, the True Cream Aqua Balm. Someday I'll get that right. And then I also put the Belif Moisturizing Balm under my eyes. Now, I did that at, I don't know, mid-morning today, and now it is almost 10 o'clock at night. So, because I did that so long ago, my face does not feel that plump anymore. So I'm going to use my Photo Finish Primerizer from Smashbox. I'm just going to take like a pump and a half, about. And this is going to not only kind of prime my face, but it's going to re-plump it up for me. I like how fast this absorbs, but still has that nice, supple plumpiness to it. I don't know. We're gonna start with the eyes, so I'm gonna zoom in. Ooh. So lately I have been loving using my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind to prime my eyeballs. So I'm going to do that. I use the shade Light, and I just take this nice fluffy sponge, and I just I generously place this all over the place, from lash line to brow bone. I'm going to take a beauty sponge and just press this into place. I find that it doesn't even need to be damp for this, honestly. At least with this concealer, it does a great job of just setting in place. Lora Pro palette, which I think is just a really, really good go-to everyday palette. You have all of your basic mattes on the top and all of your basic metallics on the bottom. It's just an excellent, well-rounded palette. They're very buttery. They're just great quality. The price point isn't terrible for the quality that you get. I'm going to start by taking this shade Taupe, and I'm going to take a large fluffy brush. This one is from Morphe. It's the M504, very affordable. I'm going to lightly tap that into the pan. I'm going to pick up my mirror so I can see something. And then I am just going to dust this into my crease. It does not need to be perfect. We just want a nice wash in our crease. And these are nice and creamy. They go on really easily. Now you can buff this out as much as you want. I have a ton of space between my lash line and my brow bone, so I can just play with eyeshadow all day long. So for me, I like to do quite a large wash, but for you, you just pick however much you want. The point is to have that shade that is just that transition color between your flesh tone and the color that we're focusing on the lid space. You just want something in between. Then I'm going to dip into the shade Sable, which is that medium warm brown. I'm going to take my Smith 247. So I pack on that color and then I tap it off just a little bit. And I'm going to press this all over my eyelid. I am just packing on that color mostly on the lid, and then when I have just a little bit left over on the brush, it looks like there's a lot but just kind of stained, that's when I kind of blend it out into that transition color, that soft lighter brown. Make sure that edge is nice and blended. I'm going to use the ScandalEyes Waterproof Kohl Kajal from Rimmel, which performs very well and it's extremely affordable. This cost me about $4 at Target. This is in the shade just brown. And it is a metallic brown. It's quite lovely. I just sharpen that a little bit more. Then I'm going to line my eye. Just a basic line. And I decide where it goes based on wherever I have eyelashes or whatever I'm feeling. Like right now, I feel like going all the way to my inner corner. These are super creamy. They go on really, really easily. It's a really, really good drugstore eyeliner in my opinion. One of the only downfalls is that they have very few colors. One of my favorite things to do with a creamy eyeliner on the top is take a kind of a small, dense little smudger brush like this one. I have one that I love from Bobbi Brown, but I wanted to try this one to make a more affordable option. It's called the Accent Brush from Real Techniques. And while this is still a little bit creamy and not totally dried in place, although I'm almost there because I'm chatting away, all I'm gonna do is just soften the edge of that eyeliner and just make it a little more smudged, essentially. For me, I always like to give the line on my eye a little bit of a flick because I prefer that shape on my eye pretty much always. So now I am going to go in with a black liner, but only to tightline and give that definition to my lash line. I'm going to take the same brand, the same style, the ScandalEyes Waterproof Kohl Kajal eyeliner in the shade just black. This one's just matte. This is not, this does not have any sparkle to it. I'm just wiggling this into my eyelashes and just covering that flesh poking through. So it just helps a little bit. I am dying to get my lashes sorted out. So if you've got great lashes, if mascara is your jam, do that. But for me, I'm going to put on some drugstore eyelashes. These are the Ardell Wispies. Really affordable, really versatile. They look great on every eye shape I've ever seen. Like I have seen these on everybody and they look great. And just a quick tip when you're putting these on, I recommend waiting until the glue is almost dry because then it just has that grip. See how it's just gripping on to my eye really well and it just like boom, it's on, you know? So I just pop it on so easily and all I have to do is just make sure each part or just like the whole band is on there and then I'm done. So while these eyelashes set completely in place, I like to give them some time before I go in with the mascara. I'm gonna do my eyebrows because they need it so bad and this is so essential to this kind of look. So I'm gonna take my Bobbi Brown perfectly defined longwear brow pencil in the shade Mahogany and it looks like that. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit now so that, you know, I'm not so in your face. I'm gonna put on the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara because this wand, I mean, I love this mascara so much, but the wand is just nice and plush and it gets on lots of volume for me, so it makes this part really quick. So that is the difference. Hopefully you can see it. To me, it's just a giant difference and it just lifts and elevates the lashes a lot too, actually, because I find that these really lightweight, clear band drugstore lashes can kind of fall down a little bit because they're feather light. So if you have a little bit of mascara and your lashes kind of gluing them up in place, then the effect is just a lot prettier, I think. So I'm gonna zoom out more. I am just like dying to get my face done and just those under eyes. So let's get some foundation on and some concealer. So today I have another little sample. I'm forever trying new things. And this is how I like to do this so I don't buy a whole bottle and if I don't like it, I don't waste the whole thing by returning it because I do not keep makeup that I don't love. To me, it's a waste of money. It's pretty pointless because what are you gonna do with it? So I prefer to use samples and then I can really go choose what I love. So today I'm gonna use the Too Faced Born With It foundation, right? Born With It? Am I thinking Maybelline? Sorry, Born This Way foundation. I chose the shade Warm Nude because it said it's for, hold on, very light with neutral undertones, which is me. It always looks funny when I do it like this, but what else am I supposed to do with a tiny little sample pot? I'm gonna take my Bobbi Brown full coverage face foundation brush. Kind of surprised that this is very light neutral. It looks more like just regular light, if that, if even like light to medium. I would not call this very light. It feels good going on though, I will say that much. Now I'm going to go back into my Instant Age Rewind from Maybelline and conceal those under eyes, which is very important for this look, especially for me, or if you are like me and have a lot of discoloration under your eyes, if you've got those dark circles, you know what I'm saying, the purples, the browns, whatever you have going on, we really want to brighten and neutralize those under eyes to make sure that those brown tones are just the eyeshadows and just making, you know, just for the sultriness of the eye and not making us look tired. Long lasting, it's high coverage. Oh, if only you could see what I was doing. Now I'm going to lock my under eyes in place with my trusty Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, specifically and only for the under eyes. I've been using this for over 2 years now. I just lightly apply this powder. And I only do a little bit. Do not need a lot. So I'm going to zoom in a little. Whoops, hold on. Hold on. And I'm going to use the Morphe E18 soft bullet brush to do all of that. So I'm going to start with that taupe eyeshadow, just like I did up top. And I'm just going to smoke out. Can't figure out if that was Canadian or slightly Irish. I'm going to smoke out the lower lash line. When doing the lower lash line, I almost always focus on using the lighter shades because everything seems to just kind of transfer a little stronger on the lower lash line. And so I am using the taupe eyeshadow that I used as our transition shade up here to smoke out the entire lower lash line, but see how that almost looks as dark as our lid. And so that's kind of my rule of thumb in general, no matter what look I'm using, is I stick to the lighter shades because I don't like to have a super dark lower lash line. I just really like to smoke out eyeshadows, but I don't necessarily want them to look heavy or harsh. Baby sister of that E18, which is the E36. It's smaller and it's more pointed. I'm going to take Sable, that dark brown that we have all over our lid, and I'm just going to do the outer corner, and that is all. Just the outer corner, and I'm just going to marry it up into that eyeliner that we have. Now, one of the final touches that you could do before just finishing your mascara and just like being off to go, like other than adding some color to your face, is you can add a fun little pop of color. And so what I really want to do is I'm taking yet another drugstore eyeliner. This is from Maybelline. This is the Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil. Sorry, that wasn't even framed. In the shade, it was Striking Copper. Just a really fun way to, again, elevate that everyday look. And so we're going to take that copper and just gently lower that lower lash line. And we are going to put that in the waterline. And this is just a really playful pop of color. I just love that copper touch. It is so fun. I am just itching to get some color on my face. So let's jump into bronzer. Hello. You know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of contouring tonight. So I'm gonna use my Cover FX in the shade Suntan, which is that good neutral shade. I'm gonna use my Forever Wonderful Bare Minerals Flawless Face Brush that kind of has that thin shape to it that really just like hugs all of my bone structure beautifully. Just gonna swirl it around to start adding in that definition. I just feel like it calls for it for this kind of look. I feel like I want to throw on like a suit, you know? I really like this look. Where the bone naturally starts to round off is where I stop that product. I don't want to carry it forward too much. Now we have that definition that I was dying to get on my face. I'm gonna dip into my Cover FX and contour my nose just because. So I'm just going along that bone structure, just adding a tiny bit. Now I'm going to take my Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade medium to just add warmth. Now that I have that kind of structure in there to make things a little soft but sultry, I want some warmth. So I'm taking my velvet brush from Make It Forever. This is called the Straight and Wavy, or the 122. And I'm just going to buff on a little bit of that color, more towards the tops of my cheeks. Really like adding bronzer and warmth to a brown smoky eye. I find it so complimentary. I feel like it's kind of a must. Specifically Brown Smokey Eye, you know, like if you're doing blacks or grays, then definitely you could focus more on like a pinky blush and stuff like that. But I really like bronzer for a brown eye. Brown eye makeup. I'm going in with my trusty favorite Lora blush in the shade Pink Buttercream. This is just an excellent pinky nude shade that goes with every look. I mean, it looks good with everything I've ever tried. I really, really like that it also has a sheen to it. If you've been here a while, you know I love to add just a little dusting on my nose. Last but not least for the face, we have our frosting. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlight in the shade Molten Gold. Hello. And I just am going to gloss up the high points of my face. I'm going for this really soft champagne gold because I think it just is very complimentary to the colors I have going on. I'm just gonna dust that across my brow bone and above on this bone up here. Just carry it on up. It doesn't need to be like so precise. I don't need to go in with like a really small brush. Put some in my inner corners. I almost forgot all about my inner corners. See how that just kind of just adds that sparkle, just opens up the eyes more. So all we have to do now is just add whatever lip our heart desires. That's like really pink. I could go in this direction. I wonder. Let's see, it's pulling brown. Nope. I don't know. You know what? You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna do a nude lip with a pink gloss on top, and I'm hoping that that is how I can pull this off. So again, I'm finding a great drugstore product. This is the NYX lip liner, so professional makeup, blah, blah, blah. It has the longest title of the planet. It says, slide on, glide on, stay on, and definitely a turn on waterproof extreme color lip liner. Is that really the title? Anywho, it's in the shade Nude Suede Shoe, so let's put that on and get that gloss. I'm gonna line my lips and then fill them in just a little bit and then get that pink gloss on top. So I quite like that tone. I think that's really good, but it does need that little touch of pink, so I'm using my new baby that has joined the Buxom family of lip glosses. This is the shade Erica. Stunning pink with sparkle in it. Oh, I love it so much. I was on the hunt for a good go-to pink gloss, and I tried several times in the store, and I wasn't sure, and then finally I realized, oh, it's Erica. It feels incredible. It has that yummy, like, tingling peppermint sensation that I adore. So this is the final look, you guys. Let me zoom out a little bit more so you can just see all of me, just my whole look. So I really hope you like this just everyday brown smoky eye that is just elevated, amping it up a notch and just like kind of getting out of your comfort zone and trying something new. And I hope that this makes you feel just more empowered. Anyways, if you like this, please do subscribe and continue to enjoy this series with me. Take care, and I will definitely see you next time. Bye-bye.